All right, what is going on, you guys? It is Jake here, back with another Madden franchise video coming off of week 4, which was our first loss at Denver, though as you can see, Patrick Queen had himself a nice game out there, 7 tackles, 1 INT, and a touchdown that got him the Defensive Player of the Week. But yeah, like I said, we took the L in Denver there in overtime. Kind of a tough game, and one that the Ravens really could have won, but just some mistakes with turnovers really wound up costing them. And we're going to be going into this Week 5 matchup, primetime game versus the Colts, with some conditions. As you can see me addressing the team here, going to be a slick football and rough footing in the rain. So here's going to be our goal: to beat the Colts and rack up 150 plus rushing yards in the game. So got a couple housekeeping items that we're going through here. You can see me talking the game over with Patrick Bailey, the defensive coordinator, who is all fired up about Patrick Queen, who's, like I've been saying, off to a really, really nice start this season for our franchise. Hopefully it's going to go that way in real life. We'll certainly see what happens, but he's been making all the splash plays that we saw from him as a rookie with, I feel like, a little bit more consistency, which is pretty much exactly what you want to see from him this year if you're a Ravens fan. So that's at least encouraging after a tough loss. So talking that over, we want him to have a breakout game here against the Colts, who are coming into this game 1-3. With Carson Wentz at the helm. So, like I said, a couple housekeeping items. Wanted to try and get this Mark Andrews extension done. It just got done in real life. As you're listening to this, he agreed to a 4-year, $56 million contract. Or not as you're listening to this, but before I recorded this. But yeah, still kind of having trouble finding the right number with him, I feel like, for my own purposes. So we'll see what happens with that. But Deshaun Elliott, also kind of negotiating with him a little bit. I'd like to get that done before he gets a little bit too expensive. But yeah, overall, we're off to a good start with this franchise, 3-1, working on contracts with guys, all that kind of stuff, and some players off to some really good starts. So it's certainly nice to see, as we see some of the news stories here. Browns beating the Vikings, so that's going to be pertinent to the division there. Carson Wentz throwing some tough interceptions, apparently. It looks like nothing draft-wise as far as stories go. Well, there's one, but I actually did want to let you guys know as we take a look at the standings here. I did want to let you guys know that I might actually have to do some trickeration as far as like the draft goes, because apparently I just saw that this new scouting update that they're going to be coming out with, it's supposed to revamp the scouting mode and make it like a lot more fun, a lot more deep, a lot better. Apparently you can't insert that into an existing franchise. So what I might have to do is just play out the string with this season here, and then I might have to delete this one or just start a new one and basically just go through week by week and recreate the season as it happened. You can do that by like doing the force win, force loss thing. So I think whatever record I wind up with here, whatever players we wind up kind of progressing with, I'll kind of do my best to sort of recreate exactly what wound up happening. I'm not totally sure how perfect it's going to be, but like I've been saying all along with this franchise, I just kind of want to have fun with it and, you know, kind of put my own spin on it and do my own thing. And it's unfortunate that the scouting system can't come in, because I feel like that would have been a perfect sort of way to kick off what I think is going to be the second season. I might take a little bit of a hiatus and come back with like a season 2 of this. But yeah, unfortunately, Madden go to Madden. They, of course, didn't have it ready for the game when it came out in August, so it's going to be coming out at some point in September. We still don't even have like a date for it yet, so I don't even have any idea when it's going to be coming. So it's just very Madden, very EA, that like this new feature that they're kind of banking on to really revamp franchise. And like I've given it credit for being a lot better this year than it's been in the past, but this is kind of really the one thing that they're kind of banking on, and it's not here yet. It's disappointing. As we see, Sammy Watkins going to be out this week with a torn labrum, so keep an eye on that in this game. But yeah, like I said, still kind of using this old scouting mode. I don't know like to what extent I'm going to even really care about this draft class that's in this one right now, because like I said, I'm probably just going to like redo it and do some of my scouting stuff offline, and then maybe restart or pick up where we left off in season 2, and I'll give you guys kind of a rundown on how the scouting kind of played out, and that'll kind of be its own sort of thing here. So you can pretty much like disregard some of these names that you're looking at. We'll probably do like some sort of in-depth sort of look into the scouting mode with one of these videos when it does in fact come out. But little bit on this game. Going to be defending the outside run, I think, as far as the Colts go. Carson Wentz, 72 overall right now. Like we saw in one of the news stories, he's having kind of a rough season. I believe the Colts are 1-3 right now. So contain QB scramble probably felt like it would be a good approach to take. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Try and stop Wentz. With the one aspect of his game that might still be kind of legit, it feels like his throwing mechanics are in a rough spot if you listen to people who know what they're talking about. So maybe he can still rely on that physical ability, getting out of the pocket, doing X, Y, and Z. But it also might be tough for him because he's dealt with a lot of injury issues, which has kind of been one of the main reasons why his career has gone so off the rails. But going to be contained QB scramble for the defense. As Patrick Bailey wants a big game out of Patrick Queen, the two Patricks. So some nice synergy there. And without further ado, that'll get us started with this week's game, Monday Night Football versus the Colts in Baltimore. As we take a look at me there, getting the boys fired up in what is going to be a sloppy game, I think. Lamar coming out ready to, I don't know if I'd say necessarily turn things around this season. He's had a good start, but throwing the football, it kind of hasn't all the way been there, and it's not going to be the excuses that we would maybe see in real life because he's had weapons at his disposal. Rashad Bateman, Sammy Watkins, Hollywood Brown have all been healthy at different times. Mark Andrews actually did miss some time, but Josh Oliver has stepped up nicely in his wake. But despite the fact that his touchdown INT ratio isn't that great, which is probably a little bit of an overrated stat to begin with, he's off to a nice start, but you would like to see him kind of throw the ball statistically better. Because if things get off to a start like this in real life, there are going to be the same old haters crawling out of the same old woodwork, not a good passer, citing volume stats and crap like that. As we see, Devin Duvernay had a huge week in the losing effort at Denver, 3 catches, 106 yards, and a long touchdown on one of the first plays of the game for the Ravens on offense. So it's been really nice to see him step up. That's another thing. Another storyline that we should kind of be tracking is as I record this, week 1 is about to kick off a few days from now for the Ravens. This is Friday, September 10th before that. So hopefully Devin Duvernay can get off to a nice start in real life as well as Prochet takes the opening kickoff. And here we go. As Lamar and the boys come running out. Yep, 5 touchdowns, 4 picks, 684 yards, only attempted 80 passes so far. So not great necessarily, but hopefully we'll be better. We're going to inside run, try to stay on the ground, have 150 rushing yards was the goal for this one as Gus starts us off with a 5-yard gain. But like I said, I'm recording this on September 10th, so it's a day after Gus went down with a knee injury for the year 2. Torn ACL, just like Marcus Peters. So this has been a pretty inauspicious start for the Ravens as far as camp goes, or as far as the season goes. A really rough camp, a rough preseason as far as the injuries, but we still don't know what to expect. They've signed Latavius Murray, Le'Veon Bell, and Devontae Freeman are on the practice squad, so definitely a weird kind of backfield to start off. I think Tyson Williams is going to get a lot of run in real life. Maybe we'll get him involved in the game here as well, but yep, still pretty, I would say, fully healthy as far as the offense goes in this game as Lamar just hawks one up that really should have been an interception. It was not. So an interesting start to the offense. They had that 3rd down conversion there in the little curl route. I believe that was I think it was Bateman that had made that catch, but they do ultimately stall out, and here comes Mr. Carson Wentz. 5 touchdowns, 5 picks for him, 785 as far as the yardage category. And completion percentage not looking super hot. But who knows, man? This is a game with some crazy conditions, it looks like, as far as the rain. So maybe this is one where the Colts can kind of just muck things up, keep it close, and try to get out of here with a win. Goes right away to Marlon Mack on the ground, who's off to a solid start of his own. And they're going to go to him again. He's just kind of plodding his way through, and they've got themselves in a 3rd and short situation, which you'll probably take all day if you're the Colts. So here we go. Mack one more time. Looks like Malik Harrison kind of whiffed there. Kind of maybe picked the wrong gap, and the Colts do pick up a 1st down. It's Mack again. He just absolutely shrugs Calais Campbell off. Then he fumbles, and it gets picked up by the Colts. So an interesting kind of start to the game here. I'm not totally sure how realistic that is, but it is Madden, so whatever. 2nd and 10 for the Colts. As I'm taking a look at the iPad, hopefully the screen's not getting too wet there. I feel like if that were actually me, I'd be a little more concerned about that than my little avatar guy is, but just looking some things over. As we see the replay here, it doesn't even show him shrugging off Calais Campbell, and then LJ Fort comes flying in, forces the fumble, but the Colts obviously jump on it as they throw a completion left there to T.Y. Hilton, almost Ravens legend T.Y. Hilton, but not quite. And ultimately, the Colts do stall out here with, I think that's Rigoberto Sanchez punting away to Prochet. Takes it, as he often does. Couple yard gain there. Ravens going to start out at the 24-yard line. So a little quicksand read option, as we've been talking about the last couple weeks. Lamar's not going to go very far with that. 2nd and 9. He's got some options. He's going to do that little curl route to Bateman again, who's off to a nice start in this game. We do want to see a little bit more from Bateman, but it's all good. He's doing what he has to do as a rookie. He's already scored a touchdown, I think, so it's nice to see that as J.K. Dobbins, rest in peace, Sweet Prince, gets forward for a first down. Play action, Lamar. He's going to fumble this one, and the Colts are going to bounce on that. So the Ravens have the unfortunate luck of not recovering the Colts fumble. Lamar kind of holds on to the ball a little bit too long, trying to force a play. Doesn't work out, and he fumbles it away to the Colts, who get started on the ground with Naheem Hines, 2-yard gain. And they're going to go to the play action here. Pernell McPhee comes running off the edge and gets a sack on Wentz. It's going to be 3rd and 13. Ugly game so far. And Wentz is going to get forward, and he looks like he just did a little bit of a head fake or something to get LJ Fort to bite the wrong way. And he does get forward for a first down, 14-yard gain as that closes out the first quarter, 0-0 score. Ugly game here in Baltimore. Colts coming out of the single back. Wentz sidesteps Patrick Queen, who would have had one of the sacks that he would be looking for in a game like this where he's looking to break out, but runs forward again for a huge gainer, 7-yard line. He's got some options, and he is going to just run this one again. I think he jukes Chuck Clark or somebody out of their shoes there and runs for a touchdown. Colts strike first here in this one, 6-0 with the extra point pending, but that's kind of a tough look for the Ravens defense to kind of get punked by Carson Wentz running, especially after I selected QB scramble as the focus for the defense to be able to stop this Colts attack. I thought we would have to contain Wentz, and even with that being the focus, they're not doing it. So going to have to tighten things up here for sure. As Lamar goes to the air, he's got Duvernay, who we talked about having a nice start to the season. It looks like he was going to break that for a touchdown, but he just gets caught at the last second. 30 yards run after the catch on that one. Great job by Devin Duvernay to get the offense rolling as Jackson runs out to his right. He is going to take on the Colts defender, and he is going to get injured. He reaches for that right side right away. I don't know if that's his arm or his chest or what that was, but looks like he took a big lick there. Let's see what happened here on the replay. Yep, it looks like he's grabbing at that forearm. I don't know what's totally going on, but it's a 2nd and 5, and it doesn't look like his arm really took too much impact, but he's grabbing at it. And what is the injury going to be here as Tyler Huntley has checked in? Lamar Jackson running to the locker room, so going to the locker room for a different reason this time than we saw in Cleveland last year. It looks like he's actually got an injury. Huntley off to a nice start here. A little pop pass to Duvernay, who again looks like he's going to break free, but he just doesn't at the last second. And they fake the pop pass, go to Dobbins. Gets down to the 1-yard line, and it is going to be a bruised sternum. So nothing to do with his arm. Great job with the animations there. As always, Madden, bruised sternum, out for the game. We'll see, of course, if that leads to anything more serious, like broken ribs or anything like that. Sometimes the initial diagnosis isn't what it ultimately is, or is not as severe as it ultimately is. But for now, all we've got is bruised sternum. It's going to be 4th and goal from the 5, and we go ahead and kick the field goal there for 7-3. So Huntley comes in, scores points on his first drive, but it is going to be him for the rest of the way, halfway through the second quarter here. So Ravens are really going to need something out of him to win this game at home and get them to a 4-1 record as opposed to 3-2, which is now very much in play here with the starting quarterback out of the game. And in play with Carson Wentz starting to heat up a little bit. He's hitting Zach Pascal over the middle there, I think. And now he goes to Jack Doyle, who shrugs off to Sean Elliott, who's also had a really nice start to the season, and he's been his usual big hitting self. He certainly was not there. He got punked by Jack Doyle. And, that's not going to get it done here. If the Ravens want to get back into this one, it's 7-3 as we head to the 2-minute warning. Wentz has all day to throw. He chooses to tuck and run this one. No surprise there. He's doing some kind of weird shimmy move on Jalen Ferguson, which was probably pretty unnecessary, to be honest, but he's up to 61 yards on the ground. Tough scene for the Ravens defense. Jack Doyle getting the ball again. Clock ticking down a little bit, so believe that is going to be the Ravens taking their first time out. Marlon Mack on the ground, going nowhere, but that is going to force another timeout to be burned by Baltimore, going out of the I formation. Gets down to the 1-yard line. Ravens take their final timeout. So pretty good clock mastery there by the Colts to burn the Ravens timeout and get a 1st and goal from the 1. As Mack basically just falls into the end zone there. He didn't even really need to. He probably could have just walked through that hole over the goal line, but adds a little extra flair to it, as he is wont to do. And my coach is not too happy here. He's maybe lighting into the boys a little bit after a tough couple of series where they let Wentz kind of first run all over them and then kind of just chunked them to death with some of those throws to Pascal, Nick Boyle, and then run that one in with Mack. It's going to be 14-3. Ravens have a chance to do something before the half, but no timeouts, and their backup quarterback in the game the rest of the way. He's just going to kind of boot out, throw this one away to the left. Got Oliver coming in motion, play action. He's going to throw this one to his left, and no completion there. 3rd and 10 from the 25, a little bit over a minute to go in the half. Throws complete to Nick Boyle. I don't think he got the first down, though, and now the Colts are going to take a timeout on this 4th and 2. Ravens punting it away to them. Colts with 2 timeouts. They're going to get a fair catch at the 37-yard line. Plenty of time to make something happen here, so pretty disastrous sequence for the Ravens, all things considered. Wentz throws to his right. I'm not sure who that is, but he is fumbling forward into Ravens territory. Colts take their first time out there. And things are not looking great for Baltimore before they head into the locker room. Throws to the left again, and I believe this is, that's not Doyle, is it? Might be Jack Doyle. Yeah, it is. Jack Doyle having himself a game here, really kind of shaking off this Ravens defense. Looks like he got a cut block over to the right. Wentz is going to run off of it, and he's going to juke his way around, and he reaches over the goal line for the touchdown. He just punks Derek Wolfe and LJ Fort. 10th career rushing touchdown there. Great stat, as always, Madden. Tyler Huntley looking none too pleased with the situation. Let's get another look at this. He's just juking guys out of their shoes. It's really realistic stuff for Carson Wentz, but there we go. It's going to be 21-3, and Ravens are probably going to be taking that score into the locker room. And I think the Colts are actually going to be starting with the ball. So this is certainly a code red situation for the Ravens. No Lamar the rest of the way. You're down 17 points, and they're just getting absolutely outclassed in the numbers game. They've got a turnover with the Lamar fumble, and just getting completely outranked everywhere else. Taking a look around the league. Browns actually beat the Chargers in LA 38-14. That's pretty big for the division. Steelers lose at home to the Broncos, so that's also pretty big. And Cincy kept it close with the Packers, 27-21, but they do, in fact, lose that one. But, it's certainly been an eventful week around the league, and the Ravens pretty much know where they stand playing here on Monday Night Football, but they're really going to have to turn things around if they want to win this one, and I think keep themselves at the top of the heap in the AFC North, but it's going to be a tall order with Tyler Huntley leading the way here. As we are coming back from the half, getting another look at this second Wentz rushing touchdown, or I think that was the first one. Lamar and his completion to the left over to Duvernay, who actually made a really nice play there. If he had just turned on that last gear, probably would have scored a touchdown, which kind of makes you wonder, but Ravens kicking away, down 21-3. Really tough spot to be in. And here comes Doyle, who's having himself a huge game, as we've seen. Kind of just shrugging off defenders, doing the Wentz thing where he's juking his way through. It just kind of feels like the Colts can do whatever they want against the Ravens defense tonight, which Lamar being out is bad, but you would hope the defense would be able to kind of hang in there and do what they need to do. And of course, as soon as I say that, Patrick Queen does get in there and get that sack that he missed out on earlier. So nice start for the defense here, 2nd and 13. Rain is still kind of pouring down. Wentz throws to his right. Not sure who that is wearing number 1. That might be Paris Campbell, but it's 3rd and 4 now. Wentz is going to throw to Jack Doyle, who drops this one. Nice job to Sean Elliott getting the nose up in there and forcing that out. And Ravens going to get some decent field position here with Prochet getting the ball up to the 35-yard line. So, Tyler Huntley, what do you got? Ball goes to J.K. Dobbins on the ground right away, shrugs one off. Nice little gainer there, 2nd and 3. Back to him again on the ground. He's going to pick up the first down. So offense is rolling a little bit. Huntley, is he going to run this one or throw? He does throw. He had Duvernay and just completely misses him there. Trent Murphy of the Colts goes down with an injury on that one. Going to throw this one out to the right to Dobbins, who does a nice job to fall forward. That'll bring up a 3rd and 4. Huntley throws this one to Hollywood Brown, who's going to run his way into Colt territory. So Ravens offense moving a little bit, going tempo, no huddle. Huntley's going to throw to his left, complete to Duvernay again. First down. Throw to his right. That pops up in the air. Mark Andrews on a contested drop. Nothing happens there, so dumps this one off effectively to Hollywood Brown, who fights the extra yards for a first down. 1st and goal. And Huntley is just going to kind of dump this one off to Josh Oliver. Single back, he's making some changes, going to Dobbins. Looked like he killed it into a run, but that's only going to gain 2 yards. He got 3rd and goal from the 3. And Huntley is just going to, looks like he tried to get that one in there to Mark Andrews. They go for it on 4th down. Nothing there, and it's picked off in the end zone. And that could have turned into a pick 6, but thankfully the Ravens offense was able to stop Julian Blackmon there, but really just a suboptimal sequence. You might have really taken the field goal there, but I don't know. I just kind of felt like we had to get something going, so I went for it on the 4th down. It didn't work out. Now the Colts are going to be driving 21-3, and Wentz is, of course, going to do what he's done all night and get out of the pocket and run for however much, 83 yards on the ground for him so far. He throws to Doyle, who's been a thorn in their side tonight as well, and Wentz is slicing and dicing now as they go to Marlon Mack to the right. Good stop by Tyus Bowser, 2nd and 12. Wentz making some changes. Takes the snap, throws to his left. T.Y. Hilton there. And they're just absolutely marching, doing what they want to do. Ravens defense does get the stop on 3rd here at the 35. 4th and 2. Colts are going to punt. And that was probably a smart decision. They downed Tyler Huntley at the 4-yard line. We've got probably one play left before the 4th quarter. And Ravens still in a really tough spot. The Colts have been smart tonight. They've done what they had to do on the ground, played the field position game, and they are up 17 points because of it. Going to Gus, who will close out the 4th quarter or the 3rd quarter with a first down run there. And, you hate to say that it's time to pack it in, but after a Tyler Huntley fumble on first down there, pushes them back a little bit to a 2nd and 14. Rain still pouring down. It just feels like it's going to be kind of tough to make something happen here. You can see the 4 verts graphic there. Huntley just kind of chucks one up to Duvernay. Nothing becomes of it, unfortunately. And 3rd and 14, he's going to throw this one to Dobbins, who does get forward for a first down, and he's going to cut this one back inside. Clock's ticking. It's a nice play to make there, but probably not going to be enough as Kwity Paye gets in for his 2nd sack of the night. You kind of feel for Huntley because he got a chance in the playoffs last year, just absolutely chucks this one up and intercepted by Blackmon again. But he got his chance in the playoffs last year in what was a biblically windy game. Unable to make anything happen. He had a chance to make a big throw to Hollywood Brown. The wind kind of got a hold of it. Probably not a great throw either, but, whatever. You feel bad for the guy for his one shot really coming in a game where the elements were a factor, and it's kind of happening again tonight. The rain's made it tough for them to throw. They've kind of, unfortunately, had to throw a little bit in this game, and it just hasn't really been there for him. Couldn't really cut it loose in the run either. The Colts have a good defensive front, so that's showing up tonight. And Colts have just controlled the clock and sort of outclassed the Ravens and did what the Ravens really do best. They ran it well with their quarterback. They ran it well with their backs. Took what they could get in the passing game, and they've pretty much done everything they needed to do. Like I keep saying, as Mack sort of spins off the right side down to the 19-yard line, still 21-3. Colts into the red zone now. Hilton with a nice little slant. Second in a row there is going to get him down to the 6. Clock ticking into the 3-minute territory. Little completion to Doyle there, and they're just absolutely milking this clock for all it's worth. Throws to the left. I think that's Pittman is just going to fall forward into the end zone, reach that arm out. Or maybe that's Mo Alley Cox, actually. I'm not totally sure. So, yeah. 3:09 left to go. It's going to be 28-3. And looks like the Ravens can probably pack it in here, unfortunately. And yeah, still actually unsure who was on the receiving end of that. I probably should know, but whatever. Ravens are going to lose this one. Unfortunately, we will watch them play out the string because that's what we do, but starting from the 23 here, first down at 10. Huntley going to check this one down to Nick Boyle, who fights forward for a first down. Clock certifiably ticking. He's going to chuck another one up here. Goes nowhere. Throws to his left to Hollywood Brown, who picks up the first. Huntley going to scramble to his right. And J.K. Dobbins couldn't really commit to running a route or throwing a block there for Huntley, so that's going to result in him getting bottled up. That is the 2-minute warning, down 28-3. Ravens trying to just put some garbage time points up. Andrews gets caught up in the contested catch there. Throws left to Hollywood, who's had a nice night on the stat sheet, but just nobody really is making many impact plays in the receiving game here, unfortunately, other than Duvernay here and there. But going to draw a little PI there from Hollywood. Nice job, a little Flacco special. That will get the Ravens down into the red zone, the 13 to be exact. Going to throw to Hollywood, who scores a garbage time touchdown. I don't want him celebrating too much because that is going to make it 28-10. Pending a Tucker extra point, which he makes, and onside kick easily covered up by the Colts. They're going to get the ball 28-10. Ravens have all 3 timeouts, but I think I decided after they pick up this first down to just not even use them because it's kind of just not been their night, and we're going to get out of here. Hopefully no more injuries to any key guys, and 28-10 is going to be your final score for a, I believe, second home game for Baltimore and second Monday night game. The first one went a lot better where they kind of unexpectedly beat the Chiefs, and this is certainly an unexpected loss to the Colts, who did whatever they wanted to do on offense. And after the Ravens lost Lamar Jackson, who didn't even look that great to start off with, he lost a fumble. But after the Ravens lost Jackson, that was kind of sort of the death knell for their chances tonight, I think. There was just very kind of little I could do with Huntley. He's like a decent backup, I think, but passing ability and passing kind of overall is just really aren't there for when you're down big, unfortunately. Kind of pretty much the exact dilemma that people think Lamar Jackson suffers from, but he actually doesn't. Huntley has kind of trouble rousing the troops from behind there, but that is going to be it for this week. Ravens are now at 3-2. Colts get up to 2-3 as you see me talking to the media about this one. And make no excuses. I say the conditions didn't have anything to do with it. Maybe they did, but I'm a classier guy than to say that to the media, as you guys know. But either way, that is going to be it for me this week. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, as frustrating a result as it is. And I'll talk to you next week with, I believe, what is going to be a home game against the Chargers, maybe it's the Bengals. I'm not totally sure. Again, probably should know this, but yeah, Patrick Queen did not have that breakout game that we were looking for, but that's all right. Nobody had a breakout game. It's just kind of one of those burn the tape and move on type efforts. But yep, that's it for me. As always, I will talk to you guys later, and peace out.